Here we go again. It's absolutely fantastic as you really reach out to find out what's going on, get information, stuff that you're really concerned about that's very interesting to you. And you go at it with your full spirit and heart, your mind and soul, and the thing that you're looking for, if it happens to be something as important to you as your heritage, who you are, where you come from, and all that other good stuff that's associated with that. And that information start being available to you just blows your mind to find out who you really are, to be associated with the truth to the degree that you recognize that the stuff that you have been told about yourself is not accurate. And you knew it, and now you're just so glad. But we got to keep in mind that we can't get carried away because we learn something. Truth of the matter is, we all learn something. We all go through some things, and I wanted to say before I give a few words about what I plan to say is that being out here taking care of business of sharing what I have been given, sharing what we find amongst ourselves with one another that will prompt and give us guidance in the pursuit of what is truly important to me, and I'm sure all of us, at least that's the aim. I would be really excited about an assistant, someone to work with this program of basic human rights, but someone who has been doing this all along, just doing the same kind of stuff all along, and really truly are committed, not just for to be doing something to say I'm volunteering or to say that yes, this is important to me, but committed to for an outcome that is absolutely a change that gives the representation of the things that we actually set out to achieve. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, actually achieve it. Now, shoot, man, I would really, when I think about it, I think about a female. I don't care nothing about age. If you know what you're doing, you got to be exposed. You got to be out here. Kenny Baba. I mean, I'm not trying to knock you, Kenny Baba. I'm just saying that you have to live to know a lot of things. And at least when it comes down to volunteerism, it's all accepted. But my point of it is a female perspective. And you know what they say, and now they talk about how wonderful females are, how powerful females are. And so if they are all of that, then engage them in the truth that we pursue. And as far as basic human rights for all people, it won't hurt because God knows I could tell you a lot of stuff about what I've been given in relationship to the totality of the picture. I can even tell you specifically about certain things that I can identify with, but there are certain things that I cannot. But I'm sure one that can would be able to deal with that particular situation. So I'm just saying, you anybody's interested in engaging in something like that, you can always look back at some of my videos, and it will give you some idea of what the basic human rights is all about. I've been out here for quite some time, uh, and I really would. I've had some help. It's been a long time ago, and the reason that I kind of hesitant about asking for help because change is real. I mean, it's real, and people have to be committed to get change. And everybody might want change, but not everybody is ready and committed to give what is required for change to become available. Usually, a change comes available when a person has a true relationship with God. And you know what I mean? They got a true relationship with God. They, whoever that might be. And it's not what I say or what you say, it's what they have had confirmed. And so it is by that information that we go forward. But I just think about it sometimes when I'm looking at people who, for instance, we just had a campaign season, and Trump and MAGA and all of that Republican side gang with Trump and that lie. And they went forward and told the American people all kinds of lies. I mean, can you actually believe that they went, told these people all kinds of lies while at the same time they were trying to let people know and plan what they were going to do to destroy the people? And they got back in power. And the truth of the matter is, they have been doing everything they possibly can to destroy this nation, it seems, and they're doing it for, I guess, a zillion reasons. I'm sure that everybody that's a part of this movement got a reason, and some of them are the same, but many of them are different. And to them, they got a reason. I'm sorry they had to find out that this is the way for them to express themselves. Too bad they weren't able to get the information that would save them from this path. Basic human rights for all people is out there right now at this point in time trying to do just that, trying to let all people know, trying to let Republicans and Democrats know, trying to let MAGA and Republicans know that the dreams, the aspirations, the fulfillment and satisfaction that one seeks in life is the same basically that everyone on earth seeks in life. And everybody, if you think about it just for a minute, you want your needs want, you want your dreams want. I mean, you want your needs want, you want your wants met as well. You want your desires met. You know that. You definitely want. And if you want it, you can just assume that, hey, that everybody else wants it as well. When you think about the kind of life you live, the kind of life you had programmed to you through propaganda, through television, all that kind of stuff, what has been held up before you as being important and what represents success and all that kind of stuff, you've kind of reached out and hoped that you get the best. That's why you buy lottery tickets. You thinking having money will help you do that. It might not give you that, but it'll make you comfortable somewhat, maybe, trying to pursue that. And this is basically the thing that people are trying to get their hands on because they know to have that money determines whether you can do anything in life. Food, clothing, shelter, education, all that kind of stuff requires money. Healthcare, my. And you got people out there right now today trying to take that stuff away at the same time trying to tell you that they're trying to help you. Well, the lie that certain politicians told the people, and a lot of folks caught up in a lot of propaganda and caught up in a lot of lies that they've been fed all their lives, found out that Trump was lying to them. That, I guess to put it bluntly, they thought they were protected for one reason or another, and I'm sure there are many reasons. They thought they were protected, but they found out they were lied to. They were not protected. And now, yes, they are crying out. Some people say, trying to wonder why they can't get enough support from the rest of the population. Now they see what it's like to stand up and say, I want some help, and people don't give a damn about you. And it hurts to know that you can have pain, to know that you can suffer, and people laugh at you. I know that hurts. A lot of people have gone through that. And that's why many times they look at you and allow you to do that. But I say to this, I speak to this end. Until you acquire or achieve exactly what you set out from to get in the beginning, your battle is not over. The war still goes on. And I figure that anybody that's serious will keep on going on. They will not let up because they got a goal, they got an objective, they got a mind, and they're going for it. And anybody else who wouldn't support them in the past, that was them. That doesn't stop us. That doesn't stop the ones that's real. And if these other people who were tricked, if they go out there and find out that they are really in the same boat that we're in and they fall off, they might think it's wonderful to be able to attach to us. It doesn't matter. As long as people are concerned about change, as long as people learn the lesson of what is very important, and that is that these needs and wants and desires are met through your food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation. And as I always say, because of what I've been taught, is that anything that's made by the hands of man is free to all human beings who have engaged in a process a process of choosing a career, choosing something that they love and engage in that career. And having done that, when you combine all of those things together, what they end up doing is creating our heavenliness, creating the food, the clothes, the shelter, the education, creating it in such an abundance. And they're creating it in such an abundance because it requires that all of us engage in that process. We come to the earth, we use the earth, we give back to the earth, but the fact that we get a chance to choose what we love is a reward. It entices us to come and engage in the process. And when we choose what we love, then we get a special blessing by receiving joy that brings us to a process that, hey, we can't beat that. That's what life is truly all about. And everything else is like cream on the top. Your needs, your wants, you're satisfied, you're fulfilled in life. You have to do nothing else about that. And just think about that. As you dream, as you imagine, then you can utilize the resources that have been given to us by power that gave us the earth and gave us the resources free. As we imagine, we can put our hands to the plow and actually cause all the things just as we did the computer, just as we did the chair, just as we did the car, just as we did the spaceship, just as we did AI, who come back and say, if I had to come back to Earth, I'd like to be a black person. Well, why wouldn't you like to be a white person? Well, because of this and that and the other. Ain't that something? Well, why did they say that? Because of something that is required of people who care, something that required of people who walk according to the truth and deserves it and have made a choice and are making those footsteps down that path that get you there. That's what I'm talking about. See, I don't want to talk about the crazy stuff that's going on in the world today. That stuff is happening, no doubt about it. And every day, that's all they got to talk about. They can't talk about solutions. And it don't make any sense for us to just talk about what they're complaining about and we're complaining about what they're complaining about. It's like we don't have any solution. But some of us do. Can we listen to those who have solutions? I'm asking you to listen. And I want you to know that solutions are there. But the thing that makes it better for anybody is that when you look at the Republicans, they got some complaints about Democrats and their policies and et cetera, whatever. And it's the reverse for the Democrats and the Republicans. And yet these same two different people got the same aspiration, the same desire about life. But their focus in life has been so much on the division that they've had nothing to tell them anything about how if if each of them had their careers that they loved, they gave them their greatest joy, what it would do for them. It would do for them that what money could never do. It would do for them what boss men could never do. It could do for them what others could never do for them outside of being real to the call of life. Well, I just really didn't want to talk to you this long, but sometimes it just gets like that. But anyway, I want to leave with this. I want to say this to black people. They say and we've learned that we're God's special people. I don't think we want to walk around bragging about it, but if we're God's special people, we know they're good. And we know that we've been through some stuff. And we know that we don't wish that on our worst enemy. We do not wish that on our worst enemy. But the people have always, for one reason or another, had control and power over us. They've been able to manipulate it. For some strange reason, we didn't have enough God in us to awake us, to tell us to hell with that. But now that God that should be telling you, that is telling you through the words that you are hearing now, have already told us, we black people, to tell you that is over. No, 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 no. We're not going to accept that lying stuff that you trying to put on with us, because our eyes open. We are woke. We don't mind telling you. But what we also want you to know is that what we want for ourselves, we got no problem with you having the same for you as it applies to you. In fact, we invite you and engage yourself in the process because we understand that what you bring is absolutely necessary in making what we do as a group much more beautiful. And we accept you as you are. Well, not as you were, but as you got to be now to be a part of this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say, I want you to know that the game of just running over people, like what Trump and those guys are trying to do now. They just running down the street acting like they crazy. They're like that. We gonna do this. We gonna do this, and we do. And they talk about all the ugly stuff, the dirty, low down, mean stuff. They this. I'm like, do these people know this is life? What are they talking? They act like some game going on. What's up? But anyway, in the past, there have been wars and there have been a lot of killings and murders and stuff like that, and it hasn't done anything. It hasn't done anything at all. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it appears to me that one of the reasons that it hasn't done anything is because it was never designed to do anything but what it has done from the beginning. When was it really set down with the thought in mind of you getting up and I'm getting up with you and we're both excited. We are both 100% satisfied, not thinking 1 minute that the trick is being played. Why? Because it is a decision that's made by us. No middle people trying to negotiate nothing for us. We are making an agreement between ourselves, and we're going to look after one another. We're going to protect one another. As long as amongst us is what we need to make us be the best that we can possibly be, we're going to use it and be the best that we can possibly be. And what does that mean? That means for serving the needs and benefits for ourselves, but for everybody else. When I say for ourselves, I want you to know that we care about ourselves. That means we got to care about you too, because we need you. We need one another. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've been bold enough to say enough for you tonight. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. And until next time, Eddie Marcus, once again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people, say good night for now.